I think the biggest thing is just try to keep her in good spirits.
The cameras were rolling. The question was straightforward, maybe even a bit loaded. Coach White, what are your thoughts on Caitlin Clark winning Best College Athlete at the ESPYs? But nobody, not the reporters, not the fans, not even the WNBA players sitting nearby, expected the answer that followed. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White didn't just answer. She delivered a masterclass in leadership, humility, and what it truly means to honor the game. In an explosive post-ESPY media moment that has since gone viral, White didn't stop at praising Clark. She turned the spotlight on all the rising stars in women's basketball, including some of Clark's fiercest rivals. And what she said may just change how we talk about competition in sports. It had been a night of flashing lights, emotional speeches, and long overdue recognition for the women's game.
As well as all these guys, really. I mean, that they don't know anything any different than the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark, the Iowa phenom turned WNBA firestarter, had just taken home the ESPY for Best College Athlete, Women's Sports after a record-shattering senior season. As she stood center stage, the applause was thunderous. Deserved, yes, but not uncontroversial. Backstage, media attention quickly shifted to Stephanie White. As head coach of the Indiana Fever, Clark's current team, everyone expected a boilerplate response. But instead, White leaned into the microphone with intensity, grace, and a message that turned heads across the sports world. Let me say this loud and clear, White began. Caitlin earned that award. She didn't just play the game, she changed the game. But let's stop acting like greatness exists in a vacuum. Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, Haley Van Lith, Paige Buchers. These women have turned college basketball into a battlefield of talent, and Caitlin thrived in it. That's what makes her win so special. What followed wasn't your usual coach speak. It was a fiery, passionate tribute not just to Caitlin Clark, but to the rivalry that shaped her. People love a good hero-villain narrative, White continued, her eyes locking with the cameras. They want to pit Clark against Reese like it's personal. But let me tell you something, without Angel Reese chasing her down, blocking her shots, flexing back, there is no ESPY tonight. Without Brink challenging her in the paint, without Buchers putting up 30 against her in Connecticut, we don't get this Caitlin Clark. Rivalries are the fuel of greatness. We don't celebrate enough how these women push each other to be historic. The room fell silent for a beat, then erupted. Within minutes, clips of White's speech lit up social media. The hashtags #Stephanie White Truth and #Respect the Rivalry trended for hours. Even players she named started chiming in. Angel Reese reposted the clip with a heart emoji and a simple, facts. All love. Paige Buchers tweeted, class act. Let's run it back next season. Even Clark herself responded, saying, thank you, Coach White. Couldn't agree more. I'm blessed to hoop with and against the best. Suddenly, a night that could have been mired in debates over who deserved what became something far bigger. Stephanie White had reframed the narrative. It's no secret that women's sports have long been underrepresented and often underappreciated. But what White did in that post-ESPY moment was shine a light not just on talent, but on context. She reminded everyone that greatness is forged in fire. That competition doesn't divide, it elevates. In praising Clark while lifting up her fiercest competitors, White offered something sports desperately need more of: nuance, respect, and unity without watering down the passion. Stephanie White didn't give the easy answer. She gave the true one. In a league that thrives on rivalries, but too often forgets the value of mutual respect, White's words were a thunderclap. She didn't just celebrate Caitlin Clark's win, she gave it meaning by honoring the very athletes who made it possible. And maybe that's the real story here. Not just Caitlin Clark winning an ESPY, but the community of warriors, rivals, and legends in the making who are rewriting the history of women's basketball, one game at a time.